then what would it be? I don't know. All right, let me push a button. 1, 2, 3. Ryan Efaw, good morning. How are you, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Much better than that poor guy in New Jersey who can't seem to. Of course, in New Jersey, you're not allowed to protect yourself. You just have to call 911 and cross your fingers and cower in a corner.
Yeah, I guess so.
Beg for your life. We haven't talked since you and I played golf at TPC San Antonio last year. How's your game, man?
That's right. It's probably slacking a little bit since then. I haven't got too much time to play in college, but been studying hard, so.
Study first, play golf later.
That's right.
You'll be fine. So have you watched the Masters at all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, well, then you don't know who's going to win, do you?
No, I don't.
You don't care, do you? All right, fair enough. Let's move forward here then. What do you think? You've got this Skim2Live event coming up. Let's talk about what that is exactly. Skim2Live, by the way, you guys are skimboarders, and I didn't even know there was an association of them. I am an old skimboarder, and I had the scars on my knees to prove it from skimming on the asphalt streets of southeast Florida every summer. But you guys are smarter. You do your skimming over sand, don't you?
Yes, that's correct.
So now, where do you guys usually go?
We go to Cypress Creek. It's
beautiful.
Shallow water, nice and thin water, and sandy bottom, and it's quite nice for skimboarding, actually.
And explain what skimming is for the uninitiated in the audience.
In short, you have a board, and you throw it out in front of you on the water, and then you'll run behind it and jump on.
Just run like heck behind it and hope you catch up to it before it stops.
That's right, and then when you jump on, you just stay skimming right on top of the water.
Yeah, and the idea is to, as you throw the board, the idea is to race behind it and catch it at the maximum speed, because the faster you're moving and the board is moving together when you hit it, the farther you're going to get to go.
That's right.
And if the board is not moving and you jump on it, you're probably just going to tumble right off the front end, aren't you?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's where the scars came from. I remember that very, very well. Why I did that, Ryan, I don't know to this day, but it was an awful lot of fun, I got to tell you.
I understand.
All right, so you have this organization of skimmers formed now, Skim, and the number 2, Skim2Live, and the very cool thing about it is you guys host an annual event that actually raises money to help breast cancer patients. How on earth did a bunch of young skimboarders find their way down this path?
Well, that's exactly right. One of our friends, Carrie Seiler, his mom passed away from breast cancer when he was 4, and that kind of thing changes your whole life.
Sure it does.
And so it stuck with him, and when we got this skimboarding thing going, we decided that having a cause would actually help promote skimboarding and,
sure,
help the cause as well. And so Carrie, immediately brought this up, and we were all down for it. And when we did that, the skimboarding thing really exploded, and we just got a ton of support from the community. So.
Outstanding. How many members do you guys have?
We probably have 10 or so members that help organize.
Serious
the
members.
event and everything. And then, but I mean, that came out to our Skim Jam last year to raise money and just see it. We probably had almost 600 people come out.
Good heavens.
Yes.
That's outstanding, man. 6 or 8, 10 guys hanging around in a garage somewhere wondering what to do, and you come up with an event that draws. I guarantee you there are a lot of people in this city who do charitable events who wish they could get 600 people to show up. That's amazing. Now, explain what the event that's coming up. When is it, first of all?
It's April 23rd. That's 2 weeks from today.
Okay. And Cypress Creek where? How do you, just anywhere along Cypress Creek, I presume, is not the way to go?
We recommend parking at Jarvis and Telge.
Okay.
That's the best parking situation we have right now.
Okay. And how, is that just right there on site? Are you going to have to walk a ways, or?
There's maybe a 2-minute walk.
Oh, that's nothing.
To the actual creek.
Sure.
So.
It's not like it's not like having to ride a shuttle bus somewhere.
Nope.
And what will people see here? Is this a competition? Is this?
It is a competition.
Okay.
That's our main attraction, so people can really see what skimboarding is.
Sure.
We also have a skim school if somebody was interested in trying to learn to skim.
That was my next question.
Yep. And then we also have food and a raffle and a silent auction and live music this year. So.
What's the oldest person who ever walked up and said, "Okay, I want to try this"? Don't you laugh,
probably
man.
still in their teens years.
Still in their teens?
Probably.
That's the oldest?
Well,
good heavens.
Down in South Padre one year, I had a lady who was probably in her 40s.
Wow, so old, really?
But
that old?
That was the only incident.
Golly.
And she did fine. She didn't fall in.
I think she just wanted to hang out with a bunch of young teenage guys. Is what I'm guessing. There's a name for that. Yeah. Any golly, I can't believe it. A 40-year-old woman. That's okay. Yeah. What's wrong with the guys? Well, you know what the problem is for the guys that are creeping up like into their 40s. They don't want to be embarrassed. That or they're just too fat. They're too fat to run too. All right, is there any cost to come out to this, or what? How do you guys raise the money? Where's the money come from?
The money comes from the majority will come from our merchandise sales, and then we'll have like small entrance fees to the competition. But just to come down to the creek, anybody is welcome.
Just come hang out, sure.
Yeah. We always accept donations. That's really where most of the profits come from for breast cancer. And then we have food sales and things like that as well. So.
Outstanding. Now, how is your competition judged?
We basically have two people judged that skimboarded when they were younger, that are older and don't skimboard so much now.
Yeah,
and then
I qualify for that.
Yeah, and then we have one person judge that doesn't skimboard and know much, so they're just basically judging on style and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Now, I think it's important to say that our skimboarding, we're I guess classified as flatland skimboarding.
Right.
And what that is we're doing more like skateboard-like tricks and stuff.
Sure.
So we're riding rails and we're olling and doing
riding rails. Wait a minute now. We weren't doing that when I was a kid. So explain how you do that on a skimboard.
It's progressed a little bit. Basically, all our rails are wooden, and we have PVC lining the top of it.
Right.
And the boards nowadays have a very hard bottom.
Okay.
And so you ride right up. You can ollie up onto it, and you just slide right across. I think in other sports they're termed sliders. So,
How far, if you take off running, from the time you jump onto the board, how far can you go on your skimboard?
In one run, with really thin water, you could go, I'd say probably 30 or 40 yards.
That's impressive. Yeah, and that's what people don't understand. And you said exactly what I was expecting you to say there. With really thin water, the deeper it is, the shorter you're going to be able to go.
That's right. You'll sink down more, whereas with thin water, there's actually less resistance.
Ultimately, you would want to build a skimming park, if you will, that had 2 acres of inch-deep water.
Yep.
And the other end, and one end of it would be a half-inch deep. You could go in on that inch-deep water just to make sure you got going and it could really run, and then move up onto, just as you got onto your board, if you came into about a half inch of water, you could probably go all day.
Yep.
But it would take some balance, though, would it? Because it'd be kind of like surfing. If you put an edge down in the wrong spot, in a half inch or an inch of water, then you'd be in trouble too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So
I still almost remember. I almost remember how to do this. I could.
Sounds like you got it.
Yeah, I could break a hip doing this, man. Are you kidding me? Ryan Efaw, Skim2Live. What is that is the website, Skim and then the number 2 live.com.
That's exactly
right.
And
you guys are doing, I can't believe there's fewer than a dozen of you guys who are really into this, and you're drawing 600 people to this event. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
How much money are you raising?
Last year we raised $6,000.
Golly.
This year we're hopeful of upwards of $10,000.
Swing for the fence, dude. Yeah, keep going, man. And yeah, we need to talk again before this is done. Now, this is 2 Saturdays from today.
That's correct.
And what hours are you going?
We're going to start it off at noon.
Okay. Start at noon and then just kind of hang out till everybody leaves?
Yep, I would expect at least until 3.
Good deal, man. Ryan, thanks a lot. Tell your dad I said hello, will you?
All right, will do.
All right,
Thank
partner.
you.
Adios.
Bye.
Just a couple of teenagers, just a couple of guys who got together. They found an activity they like.